Hello all, and welcome to Coffee with Marci. We could all use a little more joy in our lives, especially this time of year. My next guest has quite an amazing before and after transformation story, and she is here to show us how we can all obtain our inner sparkle no matter what we've experienced. Yudy Veras Bueno is an international emotional guide of joy holistic wellness and is going to help us unblock our fears and find our true potential so we can reach our higher self. Welcome to the show. So great to have you on.
Well, thank you for inviting me. You are so sweet and it's so beautiful. So I'm honored to be here with you.
I just have to say the energy you put off is just beautiful, and that is why I wanted you on the show, and we can all feel that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I just love what you're going to share today. And so what I want to talk about first off, you are the youngest of 11 children.
I am, yeah.
That's incredible, first of all.
Yeah, there are too many of them.
Yeah. I was an only child, so that's very different.
Yeah, I can give you a few of my brother and sister. No, they're all great.
Yeah.
Yes, I am the youngest.
Yes, and you're from the Dominican Republic.
Yes, I come from the DR, yes.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a beautiful island. It's really
beautiful.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. But I want to talk about, you were sharing with me some of growing up, and you went through a hard time, and I want you to share with me when that happened.
Well, hard time, I believe all of us go through hard time, right? I believe that the hard time is part of the journey.
Yeah.
So yeah, I grew up in DR, and I had the most amazing childhood with my dad. My dad was an intuitive healer, and he was just the most amazing, loving man that you can ever meet.
Yeah.
I was very, very blessed and lucky. But then he passed when I was 7, and you can imagine at 7 years old, I really, truly, people, when I say, what happened, they couldn't really explain because everybody was, dealing with their own pain. Now I understand, but as a child, I couldn't really get it. Like, he's sleeping, and that's what I remember. The last thing I remember. And then the other thing that I remember is that every day I used to wait in a corner of the house for him.
Yeah.
And I waited for like a month, and he never came back. And in my child's mind, I thought, what is it that I did that he's not coming back?
I can see how much it still touches you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it affects
really,
you.
It's really a special time in my life.
Yeah.
Because it's really this whole journey.
Right.
And so after understanding that, he's not coming back, what I understood was, I did something wrong, that he just left me. He abandoned me.
Yes.
And then my mother, because it was too much for her, suffered from, emotional, illness, mental illness. At that point, she wasn't really doing well. She couldn't take care of, all of us. So I was sent to live with somebody else, a member of the family.
Yeah.
And it's that person I love dearly. But as you can imagine, losing your dad, losing your house, losing, I love my gardens and my animals and everything that was there. It was part of my life.
Of course.
And losing that in less than a month, what I got from that whole experience is nobody loves me.
Yeah.
They just sent me away. There must be something wrong with me.
Right.
That's how I filter that, information that was given to me.
Very difficult for a young person to understand what was going on. Your whole life changed.
It did. It did. It's really impacted my life in a way that, I start questioning everything. I, feeling, and then, a lot of stuff happened in between that I haven't really talked about because I'm not ready yet. When I'm, it's going to be a moment when I be ready to share that. But it's a lot of things happen, and I just start feeling angry, like this feeling of anger and abandonment and just fear and fear of like, it doesn't really matter what I ask or what I say. There's nobody there for me to relied on. There's nobody there for me to ask any question because they're not going to answer my questions. So, you know, I start asking, like, who am I? Like,
Yeah.
nobody, I guess. Not important.
Yeah.
Nobody loved me. Nobody
Yeah.
cared. So that's what I sort of like you know, the whole experience, that how I interpret that as a child.
Yeah.
That's how I sort of like integrated that. And that created a lot of confusion. In my teenage year, I was very upset and very angry teenager. Very, very angry.
I can really relate to you as far as how you felt. I too had issues with my family. I know that we all have different issues. But
yeah, who doesn't, right?
Exactly. So, you know, I lived with my grandparents, and there were a lot of things that happened through my childhood that I will at one day, you know, I will also share. But it does truly affect who you are, what you think about yourself.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to go through those adolescent years, teenage years, feeling not positive about yourself, not understanding, feeling abandoned, feeling like no one loves you. Like,
yeah, like nobody's there for you.
Exactly. Like, I knew that my family loved me, but it's different. Like, because I didn't have my mom, and, you know.
Well, the thing is that we create these egos, these ideas about who we are.
Yeah.
And the truth is that I was not an abandoned child.
Right.
I did have my siblings. I had my sister. They loved me. But it did not matter at that point, because that's not how I saw it.
Exactly.
That's not how I filter that. The way I saw it is like, if my dad, who is the person that I love the most, he just left and he didn't even take the time to say goodbye, then, you know, like, then I'm not loved. Yeah. And if my mother sent me away, there must be something I did. I did something
Something's wrong with you.
So you see, we create these ideas that sometimes are not even accurate ideas.
Yeah.
It's just the way you filter those information.
And it's hard for children because we don't know how to process the information.
Exactly. And not only for children, even as an adult.
Yeah.
We take one idea, one, you know, the way you see yourself.
Yeah.
Just by something that happened, one event in your life.
Yeah.
And this event becomes your, you know, like, this is who you are. You create this personality around this event.
I know.
And that's what I did.
Yeah.
You see? And so even though I was a grown-up woman, like when I came to this country, I was a grown-up woman.
Yeah.
Right?
You met your husband and you ended up moving to the United States.
Yeah.
Yes. So how was that experience for you?
Well, moving to the United States, it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
I really, the truth is that we came because we want to give our daughter a better opportunity. We want for her to have more choices. You see, because we live in a beautiful island, and I love my country.
Yeah.
But it's an island, and it's, you know, there's limitations. And I didn't want my daughter to grow with limitations. I want her to have everything that she can, you know, that she could have won for herself. I wanted to be that. So when we moved, it was more like a sacrifice, so to speak. You know, like I spoke the language a little bit, and I grew my husband too. But it was a whole new culture, new country, new people, new way of living.
I can only imagine what you...
And and it's coming from a small island. It's like, what I got myself into.
Right. I can only imagine.
So it was very interesting. So for a child that, you know, that had this personality of questioning herself, you know, with lack of confidence, that was a huge move. Yeah.
But the strength that you had to do that, you know, we don't see that, but you had so much strength to do that.
Well, I always say that even in my darkest hour, because before I met my husband, like 18 or so, I was in a really bad place, like almost suicidal, right?
Yeah.
And I always had this determination, and also the feeling that, you know, that we come here into this beautiful planet, and there must be something that is happening that we are able to come here. So as a child, I always had the question, like, You know, I always question, who am I? But like not just in a surface, but in deep, like who am I? Like there must be something that I came here to do.
Yes.
There must be something, and so that idea of like there must be something, there must be a meaning to this. It just kept me going. So that was that strength.
Yeah,
you know,
incredible.
that question. What is it?
Yeah.
You know, I always know there's something bigger than me. There is something bigger than me.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And that was sort of like always pushed me
That's
through.
what pushed you through.
Yes.
And then you met someone. You had a guide in your life. And this started your journey.
Well, I was in a point where I was really, you know, when I came, I went to corporate. I had this successful corporate career. And I said, this is it for me. You know, I went to a point where like I'm reinventing myself. You know, I'm gonna, everything that happened to me is gonna be in the past, and I'm going to start brand new. So here
Nobody's gonna know who you were, right?
No.
You're all brand new,
it's
right?
all brand new. That little child who was scared is no longer that child.
Yeah.
That's it. And so I decided I'm going to go to corporate America, and I'm gonna make it, and I'm gonna have this
Something to
amazing,
prove. Yeah.
Yes, and I went back to college, and I did all that.
Yes.
And I had an amazing career, very successful. I'm very grateful for the people that I met during my time. I had amazing, amazing people. But what happened is I was still looking for that meaning, and looking for happiness. And I thought that by doing that, by, you know, doing the career thing and the promotion and the money and the traveling, that would be it.
Yeah.
Like that would be the answer.
Yeah.
And because I felt like I needed to find answer, you see? And when I felt like I was on top of my career, then I noticed that it was not. I was empty.
It wasn't fulfilling you.
I was unhappy. I was depressed. I was anxious. When I came to this country, I was size 6. Not that it matters, really. But I became size 16 because I started using food to sort of like quiet that child that was crying inside, you see?
Yeah.
And I just lost myself in all this career thing and all this achieving thing and all this. I just got disconnected, totally disconnected, to the point that we start having problem, me and my husband, because we're very close. You know, we created something that we call the sacred circle. And at one point he told me, you know, you're getting out of the circle.
Yeah.
I'm losing you.
Oh.
You know, where is my wife?
Yeah.
Where is my little witch? He used to call me the little witch. Where is my little
A good witch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that day, I cried so much. And I went home and I remember looking at myself in the mirror and I couldn't stand it. I hated that reflection.
Yeah.
I said, who is this person? I couldn't even recognize myself.
I think there's a lot of us that could relate to that.
Yes.
So what did you do?
And then what happened is I cried out loud. I asked for help. I say, I believe that there's something higher than us, so I reach out to that higher power.
Your higher power, yeah.
And I said, you know what? You created me for something different. You created me for something bigger.
Yeah.
You created me for not for this. That I know, and I need answer. And I've been asking for answer.
Yeah.
But guess what? Your time is up. I need answer today. This is it. I'm not gonna give you any more time.
Yeah.
And so the same day I met this amazing woman. She helped me so much through my emotional challenges. But I also met this spiritual guy from the Dominican Republic. This woman doesn't even know how to ride or anything.
Right.
But she was just such a beautiful, pure soul. And these people and a bunch of other people, they just came. Like I asked for the help, and the help was sent to me. You see?
I've experienced that myself, that if you put something out in the universe and it is meant to happen, that will happen. People will come into your life that can help you.
And what you just said there, I put it out to the universe and it's meant to happen. And here's the thing. People don't understand the power that each one of us possess. We truly haven't started to understand who we are
Yeah.
as human beings.
Right.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so important that we start understanding, because we do have power.
Yeah.
You see, that day when I said I need the help now, I need answer now, you need to send it now,
Yeah.
it came.
Yes.
But I made that happen.
Yeah.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
People forgot that they have this inner spark,
Yeah.
this inner power.
Yeah.
They do, and they need to remember.
Yeah.
And one of my job, I think, I'm very humble to say that I want them to remember. I want to remind them.
Mm-hmm. So you have a book that's coming out.
I do. I have a book. I'm very excited. It's like my
Yes.
baby.
Yeah, I can only imagine. It's a huge thing. So please tell us about it.
Well, the book is basically a little bit about my story, but not so much about my story, but what I have learned out of these experiences of like fear and of the pain and all that stuff, and just to tell people that there is a reason why they're going through things they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
There's always hope. And so my book is called Heal Your Heart, Free Your Soul, because I believe that the bridge to the soul is through your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Your heart is the center of your being. It's not your brain, like you were told. It's really your heart. And when you come from the heart space, you become more compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
But not only toward other people, you're more compassionate toward yourself first,
Mm-hmm.
and then you learn to be compassionate toward other.
Mm.
You see, and the heart is where the strength,
Yes.
the answer, everything that you're looking for is there.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And your book is called
Heal Your Heart, Free Your Soul.
Heal Your Heart, Free Your Soul. And when is
Yes.
it coming out?
Well, my editor is working on it now. The day that we want is May,
Mm-hmm.
because of spring.
Yeah.
That might change, and I will keep people posted.
Okay.
I already have people buying my books, which is insane.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
I'm very excited. I
Yes.
never thought that, something that I started like, I never thought that it would be such an amazing journey, really. I'm
Yeah.
so grateful and so humble, really.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Congratulations. Let's talk about how you formed your business and what that has meant for you and how you are making a difference in others' lives.
Well, actually, I have to say, there was a point in my life when I felt like so liberated. All these wounds from the past, all this pain, the unresolved pain.
Yeah.
It was deep-rooted pain
Yeah.
that I was just screaming for help. Once I resolved that and I feel liberated,
Mm-hmm.
and I start going back to my roots,
Yeah.
going back to my spiritual practice of meditating or reconnecting with earth and nature. There is so much that we can learn from nature. There is so much. It's
Yes.
the best, really the best teacher, the
Yeah.
best guide.
Yes.
I decided that I couldn't keep on doing what I was doing. It
Mhm.
was just not, I was not in integrity at that point. I felt like a hypocrite in a way, and I felt like meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
I said, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And one day I just
Yeah.
came into my job, I remember,
Mm-hmm.
and I have this spiritual guys, I call them, and I have this voice telling me, today we're gonna resign.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, we're not.
Like your guardian angels.
Well, there's
Would it
more than
be?
guardian angels.
Yeah.
It's guardian. You have guardian angels. You have spiritual guides.
Yes.
You have your ancestor. I mean, you have an army
Yeah.
of spiritual beings who want to help you.
Yes.
You do.
Yes, I
Each
believe that
one of
100%.
us, yes.
Mhm.
But we put them out of job because
Mm.
we're not asking for help.
You have to ask. You
Yes,
have to
you-
invite
you
them
have to
into.
ask.
Yeah.
And you have to give them permission to.
Yes.
Yes, because they don't have permission.
Yes.
You need to give them permission.
Yeah.
So I heard at that point I was very already connected and already remembering all the teaching of my father. They came through like so amazing.
Uh-huh.
And that day it was like, we're gonna resign today, and I'm
Mhm.
like, no, we're not. Like we're not doing that. What were you talking about?
How fearful that must have been for you.
Yeah, because I made a great income. I had
Yeah.
a great job. And I say, how are we gonna make this how am I gonna make money?
Yeah.
And then I say no, and then something happened right after that I
Yeah.
say, this is it. I can really continue doing this, and I resigned that day.
Incredible.
And I remember going out of that office and feeling like I was just free. Like
The weight of the world had been lifted off your shoulders,
it's like
right?
I was like, I can fly now.
Yeah.
And the truth is that yes, I was afraid,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not asking anybody to leave their job, right? That's not what I'm here to tell you. But you must be happy with whatever it is that
Yeah.
you're doing.
Right.
It must have some sort of meaning. Otherwise, it's not worth it.
I think a lot of times though we just as humans and how we are raised, that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to get the good job, you're supposed to make the money,
But that's part of the problem. They're
Right.
supposed to, and the conditioning and the beliefs,
Exactly.
like around all these things and all these rules that you're supposed
Right.
to do to be happy.
Exactly.
And I was part of that. You
Exactly.
see? And the
yeah.
truth is like when I left, I had no idea. I truly had no idea what was I going to do next.
Yeah.
But I knew that I had guidance. I knew that is something bigger than me, a bigger force that is driving me, and think about this. People just they don't. I wanted just for them to, if they can get this idea, just this idea. I would love for them to digest it. So, for instance, if you look around, right, look at nature, and you look at a sunset.
Yeah.
It's breathtaking.
Yes, it is.
It's like, wow, that's beautiful. And then you look at the ocean, right? Look at the ocean, and you feel like, this is so beautiful. There's no way this is an accident, you see? And then what happens is you, as a human being, you look at yourself in the mirror, and then you don't see the same amazing view. All you see is imperfection, limitations, errors, shortcomings, mistakes. But I wanted for you to know that the same beauty that you see in the sunset, the same beauty you see in the ocean, that beauty is in you too.
That's
as
beautiful.
a human. Because people have this thing where like they stop believing in miracles and magic,
Yes.
you see? And you Marci, you're a miracle. Think about this. Only take, like I always say to people, take only your body, for instance. Just your body. Something that you can see and you can feel and you can touch. I'm not talking about something intangible, something very tangible, right? Your body, your heart is, you can hear it, right? You touch your heart and you can hear your heart. Your heart is working 24/7, right? The blood is going through your whole being 24/7. You are able to think.
Yes.
And now we're able to speak and have this beautiful conversation, and we're able to see each other. You see, and you're able at the same time take the air, and your lungs will do the work and create this oxygen to keep you going, and you don't have to do anything.
Right.
You don't have to move a finger to make that happen. And now you tell me, how come you're not a miracle?
Yeah.
You are a miracle. And so that's what people forgot. You see?
Yeah.
And so we have this thing that we want to know what's coming next.
I know.
Like how it's going to
Yeah.
happen. And I'm human too, so that was my thing. It's like, what am I going to be doing this? What am I going to be doing this? And what I did, I talked to my husband and I said, listen, I am in this situation, in this transition right now, that I really need to figure it out what I want to do next. I'm not gonna go and just get a job to get a job. I'm not doing that. I need to find out what it is that I came here to do, because I'm sure I came here to do something. And this is how Joy Holistic Wellness came into being, because I work with many mentors, coaches, spiritual guides, guru. I went to seminars, to training, certification, all that stuff. And I felt like, what about if I can just put all that in one place? How would that be? You see, and what I do is I take the best of what's there in science, emotional healing, and the best of what's there on spirituality. So I don't have a religion specifically, and whoever have it, I'm encourage you to do what is good for you, right?
Uh-huh.
But I found that every single religion, every single philosophy has something to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had master and teachers like Jesus and Buddha, and they came to really teach us what it means to be a human.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my belief, we're still not there yet.
No.
I mean, you see what's going on now, like
Yeah.
what happened in Florida the other
I know.
day. It's insane that we are doing those things to each other.
To each other.
Like,
Yes.
Haven't we learned anything yet? I mean, we
Mhm.
have all this technology, but something is telling me that there is a disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
Human feel disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this coming from? Where's this disconnect? Listen, we are only 5% of the population in the entire world,
Mm-hmm.
and more, at least 90% of the drugs, and I'm talking legal drugs and only are consumed in this country.
Yes.
So that's telling you that something is going on.
Yeah.
So I want to help people with these disconnect, with this depression and these anxieties and this stress, and to help them find. The thing is that you already have the answer.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a sort of like a cliche, everybody's saying that, but is it true?
Mm-hmm.
You do have the answers
Mhm.
inside.
Yeah.
It just needs somebody to sort of like help you bring them out.
Exactly.
See?
And you help them. And that's
That's
how
what I do. I
Yeah.
help them to find out. First of all, I start with organizing the mind. The
Okay.
mind needs to, it's like a spring cleaning the mind,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Uh-huh.
Because think about this, when you have your closet and it's full with all this stuff, there's no space for anything else.
Right.
So we need to start making space for what's important,
Right.
right?
Right. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, there
Absolutely.
was a study that was done. They figured out that as a human, average human, you are able to produce from 12,000 to 72,000 thoughts a day.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
incredible.
thinking. No
And I-
wonder why people are exhausted.
I know, exhausted, and I wonder how many of those are positive versus negative.
Well, the other thing was like I believe was 80% was repetitive.
Mm.
95%
Oh God,
are
repetitive.
negative.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Does not surprise me at all.
So it's first of all it's what I ask people, the first thing is to become aware
Mm-hmm.
of their thoughts. What are
Yeah.
they thinking, and
Right.
day in and day out, and understand that your mind, like your body,
Mm-hmm.
is a gift.
Yeah.
It is truly a gift, and it was given to you as an instrument
Mhm.
to help you.
Yeah.
Because besides the mind and a beautiful body that we all have,
Mm-hmm.
we have a part of us that people sometimes are afraid to talk about,
Yeah.
which is the spirit, the spark.
Yeah.
You see?
Absolutely.
that
People
inner
are
spark.
afraid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know myself in just the last couple of years have found my inner spark.
Yeah, I
have
can
gone-
tell.
Thank you. Have gone through so much of what you are speaking about, and I just finally reached out to my higher power, and my spirituality has grown in a way I've never thought it would, and that's where this gift has come from.
Okay.
So-
Yes, and I feel it. And I was just speaking to my husband before coming to see you, and I said, when I saw that woman, this beautiful lady the first time, the words that came to me was determination, courageous, and grace.
Thank you.
And I'm not just saying this. And that's happened when you allow yourself
Mm-hmm.
to follow your path,
Yeah.
to follow what they call your bliss.
Mm.
And sometimes that is, people start questioning
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you insane? Or what are you trying to do? Like, why did you just go get a job? And like, you
Right,
know,
right, I
it's
know.
much easier.
Yeah.
Why going through the pain? But, and I'm sure you agree, it's when you're doing something you love, there
Yeah.
is nothing
Yeah.
that you can compare that with.
Exactly.
There is nothing. And here's the thing, each one of us,
Mm-hmm.
as a human being, we have a gift
Yeah.
Each one of us have a special talent.
I am so happy that you came on, because everything that you're sharing is what I wanted to get across to the viewer. The beauty, the uniqueness. We all have something to offer.
Yes, we do.
And if you are sitting here watching this, you have two women right in front of you that have gone through depression, change, reinvention,
Anxiety,
fears, craziness, you know.
Looking at it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All of those emotions that you too, I'm sure, have gone through or are going through. And that is what I wanted to bring out today, is that there is hope, there is change. It's waiting for you, your beauty. It's time to bring that out. So put it out in the universe, and please reach out to Judy and Joy Wellness and let her help you. Because you know what? We can't all do it on our own, and you do have to reach out. You do have to have someone that can guide you and give you suggestions. And maybe you don't know how to make those steps, but there is help, and Judy is here to help you. And I want to thank you all so much for checking in, and find your inner beauty, because it's there. All right? Thank you guys, and we'll see you soon.